Hi friends. We're going to get started in a couple minutes. So if you've joined me early, thank you. I see a few of you are watching already. I just wanted to point out that you can get some supplies real fast if you want to do it live with me. We need some rice, a funnel or paper in a funnel shape, a bowl, maybe something that won't stain if you get food coloring on it, and a spoon, a food color, of course, and a container for your art. I hope everyone's doing very well at home right now. I'm so glad to share these fun little camp crafts. And in September, I'll even do another camp craft because I know a lot of schools are starting not in person. So I figure that anyone can do this at home and we can have some camp right through September and maybe beyond. We'll see what happens. I just love camp. If anyone has any questions at all, you can feel free to write it in the comments. I am on my computer at the same time. So again, what you're going to need today for the rice bottle art with me. Hi, Miss Dawn. We're going to start in a moment, but are the supplies you need. Rice, a funnel or paper in a funnel shape, a bowl, something that won't stain with food coloring, a spoon, also doesn't stain with food coloring, food color, and a container for your art. We got about 15 seconds left. I hope everyone's having a great day. It's super hot. I think it's going to rain. I know that some of you will watch this on YouTube and think it's sunny, it's lovely, it's snowing. But today, when I'm filming this, it is about to rain and it's super hot outside. All right, so welcome everyone. I am so excited to show you this activity. I honestly don't know if I came up with it myself or if I found it online, but I was thinking about all of the things that I like to do when I'm outside and at camp. Sometimes you can, if you have an overnight camp, they sometimes have a shop where you can like make your own crafts, like with lanyards and decoupage. Decoupage is a little much for these videos, but with all of these kind of fun things. And one thing I remembered is that at the camp I was in, we had sand art. So I don't have sand and I didn't want to buy sand, so I decided to make it with rice. And I want to show you what we've made. Look at this. this is our rice art. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, so the difference between this and the colored sand is it's not as uniform in color, but to be honest, I really like it. So let's take this away. Now, so what you need for this is you do need some rice. So what I have is I have this giant container of rice. Let me put this finished one aside. So you'll need some rice. If you have it, you can get a funnel. We have some funnels there. But if you don't have a funnel, it's okay. This is a piece of paper that I've made into a funnel shape. Make sure there's a hole at the end, otherwise it's not much of a funnel, it's just a cone. And I just taped it. Now I used a heavier paper, I used a cardstock, but you can just use a small piece of paper. And this is going to be for getting into your bottle. You will also need a bowl. Now this doesn't have to be crazy. Look, I'm using a yogurt container. And you can see I used some yogurt containers here. So I used a yogurt container. And you're gonna need a spoon. I didn't want to use one of my regular spoons, so I just used a plastic spoon. And some food color. Now, I haven't tried it with food paste, but I usually like to use food paste in my own cooking. I'm just using regular assorted food coloring, like no big deal, okay? So you're gonna wanna take that. Now I'm gonna show you, there's some things with this that are a little different from dyeing other things. Also, besides the food color, you need containers for your art. So you can have bottles, this is my favorite one, this one right here. You can get, these I think were for gift tags, so you could even fill up something like this. Now, I don't know if you've ever had, I'm gonna move these over. I don't know if you've ever gotten these kind of sand art when you've been out and about, but usually the guy at the end, he tops it off, you know, and I did the same thing with this one. So you might want to watch with something like this that you make sure that you get all the edges, okay? But you can use anything. It doesn't need to be glass. This one is actually plastic and it's bendy. The difference between this and regular sand art is this is going to settle a lot. So make sure that you are, I like to settle it like this, but I'll show you that in a moment. Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks here. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do is we need a material that we're going to dye. So here's our rice, and I'm gonna pour a bit of it in here. Here we go, spilled a little, it's all good. All right. That's what I get for doing it away from me. And so what we're gonna do now is I am going to start dyeing it. I mean, we're pretty much almost ready to fill, okay? So I think out of all the colors I have, I actually don't have a red. So I'm going to take this red. Now, if you're worried about getting food color on your hands, make sure that you wear gloves, but food color does come off, so you should be okay. Just try not to get it on your clothes. So I actually, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, experiment. You don't know how much you're gonna need. Now, you are just simply going to start stirring it. It's not gonna look like enough at first, but it does spread out, okay? Like that. Keep stirring. If you see really dark parts, keep going. And oh my goodness, look at how nice that looks. I mean, that looks great. Now, the difference between this and regular sand is the fact that it is not going to dye evenly. It just won't. It's a natural material. I mean, sand can be too, but it is a natural material and it absorbs liquid, but it's really going to depend on, you know, how well you mix it. Some of them aren't going to take it right away. Maybe they're like older grains of rice. I'm not really sure. Generally, they do absorb this liquid very well. So I put about 8 drops in there. I think I'm going to put 2 more. This is, think of this like alchemy. Like you are a scientist. I'm going to put 3 more. You are a scientist trying to figure out the best formulation for this. Put my bottle over there. So you're just gonna mix until you really don't see wet anymore. Now, if you want it to be a little extra, you absolutely can. And you can take this stuff that you've mixed and you could put it to dry on a baking sheet or something. Don't put it in the oven. You could just let it dry on its own. It'll dry right up. Or you could just leave it in here to dry. To be honest, I made a lot of these the night before, and they really have dried. So now I have a red. I made a yellow previously, a blue, a green. Now, and I want to show you what happens when you mix two colors, because generally when you use this for like eggs or something like that, you'll like, if you mix these two colors, what color would that make? It would make purple. So I thought I might try that and see what happens. Well, it doesn't exactly do that, but look at how cool that looks. You really get two separate colors in there because the different grains of rice absorb the liquid differently. So I thought that was so cool. So basically, you're gonna open up your vessel for your art. And as I said, you can use a funnel that's paper. Since I have my regular funnels, I'm gonna bring my regular funnels over. And you could do it like they have at those sand art stations, and you could have them all set up like this. I actually did it one at a time and kind of got the feeling like, oh, how do I want to make this? And you just basically, carefully, start pouring it in. Now I want to show you something here. On this one that I made, you see how I have the angles? Simply, all you have to do for this, only thing you have to do is move your funnel from side to side, and then it'll fill it. I kind of want this one straight. All right, so I have some green there. Let's put a little bit more. I love this yellow. It's so sunny. Let's look at that. A little yellow. Oh, that looks so nice. Now, as you're doing this, just know that the grains of rice have a lot more space. So I like to take the bottom of my hand, go like that, flatten it out. There you go. Oh, and since I have these mixtures, I'm going to take my blue. There we go. And I'm going to take my blue red. It looks so patriotic, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. There we go. Now as you see, as you get closer to the top, my funnel is actually getting in the way of my grains of rice, so make sure you're lifting it out. Don't lift it out so much that it gets all over the table. Now let's take the new one that I just made. Let's give it a little bit more of a mix. Look at that. Look at how nice that looks. Do you see? Oh, it looks great. So basically, I'm just going to take it and put it at the top. Now, we are so close to the top that my funnel is actually sitting right on top of that rice. So I'm just going to lift it up a bit. Look at that. And I'm going to shake it down a bit. So let's shake that down. See how much more room that makes? This is not like sand. It really has a lot of air in it. So you really want to kind of be a little extra. All right, let's put a little bit more in. There we go. You can tamp it down if you want, just like that. One of the other things you can do, if you have it, if you have like a little tiny thing that you can pour out of, like this, you can also use that. Get that out of the way. So I'm going to put some in there, because what we're going to do is we're going to try to get as far up to the top as possible. It does make a bit of a mess. Don't be afraid of messes, guys. Messes are fine. Now look at how high I have that. And I'm going to tamp it just a little bit more. You can do it on the table, but that's noisy. The people next door to me here in the library are going to be very concerned that somebody's trying to get in. All right, so let's look at that. Look at that beautiful sand art. And then all you need to do is cork it. Boom! Look at that! Doesn't that look beautiful? I hope that you guys will be trying this at home. It is such a fun, easy piece of art that you can have. You can change it for the seasons if you want. I'd love to see some autumn colors coming up for the fall. I'd love to see your school colors. I'd love to see, maybe an Eagles themed one, all shades of green and a little bit of black and white. It would look so awesome. Or maybe some Flyers things. You can make it sports themed. You can make it patriotic. You can just make it your favorite fairy colors, whatever you want. So I really do hope that you enjoyed this camp craft today. I will stay on the line for a few more minutes, so if anyone has any comments or questions, I will be happy to answer them. And feel free, guys, that when you are visiting the library, that you have your favorite mask on. I'd love to see yours. Come and show me here at the Yardley Library. Or you can go online and do our Beanstack challenges. Now, Summer Quest is running till the 15th of August, but after that, we have some big plans ready for the Beanstack. So keep your eyes peeled, and we have much more activities coming up in the future from Youth Services Department and from the Bucks County Free Library. Thank you again, guys, for joining me. I'll stay on for a couple minutes more, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. This looks so pretty today. Oh my goodness, look at that. Looks so pretty. Let's get these ones that I spilled. I'm not a lefty, guys, I'm a righty. Makes it a little bit more challenging. Got some, there's my lovely make sure that when you're doing this with your grown-ups that you lend a hand and you make sure to clean up. I always clean up after myself. You could sing a little song about cleanup if you want to. You can make it a game. It's you can clean up the fastest. It's my favorite way to do it. You can see who can get everything into a certain area by a certain time. You could see who does it the most thoroughly or the most fun way, who has the silliest walk or talk when you're cleaning up. Super fun. So I hope you guys really enjoyed my camp craft for today. I know I had fun showing you all of these fun things with all of these colorful rice that we've made into our fun camp craft. And I hope that when you make your own sand rice art bottles, that you do send them to the Bucks County Free Library. I can't wait to see what you have made. Thanks so much, friends.